Hey guys, it is me Simone, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make your own mixed media paper, or like mixed media pattern paper. There you go. So I have a project that I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna work on a little book, and I wanted to use some vintage elements I had lying around. Like every once in a while I have I'm in a vintage mood, but I don't buy a lot of paper because I don't do this. I'm not like always doing this. So I had some of these tiles in my stash that I wanted to use, these buttons here that I wanted to use, and I had some tags. Don't know where I put those at. Moving everything in around. I had some tags and some other elements. Here they are, right? I have these tags and some of these craft paper, typewriters, and these craft tags. It's tickets. So I wanted to use these elements that I've had laying around my stash for a while, and I decided that I would make like a vintage book or something. We'll see what it's going to turn into. I don't exactly know. I don't really have too many plans besides I want to use those elements, but I don't carry a lot of vintage paper because of that. So I wanted to make some like mixed media vintage worn pages, or vintagey pages, kind of like the Prima collections kind of have a vintage tinge to them. I wanted to do that, so I'm going to show you how to do that. This is the first paper I've made here, and all my papers are going to have this like splatter effect on them. That's a running theme that's going to happen on all my papers, and I want to use up my resist spray. But first thing I did was I did a color scheme. So my color scheme is going to be this purple, like a raspberry dusty red color, and brown and black. That's it. So I'm going to have those repeat over all my papers. I'm going to make a whole project making my papers. Now if you do this technique, you can easily just make this paper and scan it into your computer and use it have it designed for next time. So if you wanted to print this off and use it multiple times, you can, and then just save this or use this in a project. So if you want to have multiples, you don't always have to make it, especially since you're not going to make them look exactly similar. So let me tell you all the supplies I'm going to be using to make this paper and make our papers. So I'm going to be using mixed media stamps. So I have these here. Got these off of AliExpress. If I can find some similar to this, I will link them below. But you want elements like this. So this is numbers and some kind of numbers, and then these are vintage text. And then I used other stamps that had lines on them. That's good. I was just using them. I moved everything around my desk to make room for my camera. Turn my camera on. It wouldn't be too messy. Oh gosh. Okay, but just any kind of stamps like that would work amazingly. Okay, I give up. And then you're gonna need some waterproof ink. I'm using archival ink and some hybrid ink that will work perfectly fine. I'm using combination. And then your colors, you can use watercolors, or any kind of stain, any water-based medium, or you can water down some acrylic paint if you don't have watercolors. Then you're going to need something to ink, whatever inking you're going to do. I'm doing distress ink, some inking tools, and what's going to help our papers is I'm using this sealant. I'm using my stash, so I'm going to do whatever I have in my stash, and I love the effect this has. This is plain Jane semi-matte glaze medium, so any kind of glazing medium will work too. What the glazing medium does, it just adds a nice shine. I don't know if you can see that, and protects the paper. the patterns you have on paper. So if you're using watercolors and stuff like that, you're going to want to put some kind of sealer over it too, so your color doesn't get damaged. That's all I'm doing. Just temporary it just lightly protects it. So if you accidentally, you know, sprinkle some water on here or whatever, you don't have any issue. And here's another paper that I made earlier, and this has a bunch of lines that I stamped on it. Very simple, but you can go really crazy with this. I don't know, this is a little dark for my color scheme. I want a little lighter brown, so I might redo it, but still. I'm gonna show you how to make the purple one. So first thing I used Dusty Concord. This is Distress Stain. Had it in my stash, I wanted to use it. I'm going to push it off in the corner and get some out, and I'm gonna water it down just a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but there are some splatters on the paper. What I've done is I've gone over here with some homemade resist spray to add little specks to here. You can do whatever you desire. You can exempt this part if you so desire and not do the resist sprinkles, but that's a common theme that I'm gonna have throughout all my paper. So you can use whatever color you want. I just got inspired by a couple collections I saw, so I'm using those as my inspiration for how I'm going to structure some of my papers. And where did that one go? What's the Dr. Concord that I used? Oh, I know what I did. I totally forgot I did add something to this. It's because colors are not the same. Oopsies. I did add some Bria Reese glitter ink to here to add a glittery touch, which did change my color. Oops, I forgot about that, but it's okay. And I'm gonna mix that up. I knew something was wrong. I was like, that is way too light, and that is not the color I had on here. And oh, and this is not watercolor paper. I'm not doing that crazy mediums to this. Just brushing over some stains, but you can do a thicker paper if you choose. See how different they are? Oh yeah, I don't know if you really can tell. They are a little different. You can kind of see it. Yeah, but I can't help that. I did the best I could. I totally forgot I did change the color of it to add some shimmer. Okay, that's all. And then I'm going to dry these. And now we're going to think about what stamps we're going to add to our page to add like the little texture and lines in the background. So you can think about that. You want to make sure you're using a waterproof ink. So a hybrid ink would work for this. You know, what's it called? Archival ink will work for this. Even if you want to, you could use a water, like a dye-based ink, and the effects that it might bring. You can definitely do that too. But just in case, like if you have paint and stuff and paper, you can make your own paper. If you can't easily get some mixed media paper. Let's make this a little drier. I'm not trying to like completely heat it up, just get it dry, just so my inks don't act up a little bit, touching the wet paper, and dry for the back and the front. I think it's good enough. So that's your paper now, and the little spots. So now we're gonna add our stamps. You can do this however you choose. I don't remember exactly what stamps I used. Okay. So I'm gonna use this one here. Pull that out. I'm gonna get this one here. See that one? That's what I'm using. And move along. I'm gonna get my ink. My ink is on something. Okay, so as so far, you can use Hyper ink, you can use archival ink. I'm using archival ink, and I'm just gonna dab over here in random spots. I am not using acrylic block or nothing. I'm not even fully inking up the stamp. You see me? I'm doing random spots. This is a messy process right here. Messy spots on here, just getting some pressure, going different edges. Make sure you're not going in like the same area. Be random with your stamping. Just like, oh, spot, you looked at it, that's where you're stamping at. And then I'm doing first and second stamping, generation stamping. So you have the faint ones, you have the more sharp images. Upside, I'm stamping the images upside down. It's not really supposed to be legible. I mean, is really any of the paper, you see the mixed paper, legible? No. Moving on to another stamp, I'm going to add numbers. That's what I added, right? I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to add random numbers. I'm going to switch it sideways. You know, let's go upside down. Let's do the middle. Just having fun. And then when you're done with your page, and you know what, Simone, I inked all I wanted to ink. We are done. We did our page, inked all ink. So you see how I did the first time? I'm like, you know what, that's what I wanted. Perfect. Or if I'm like, you know what, I want to add some extra elements. I can go on some extra elements here. Add these extra elements places. You know, second generation, third generation stamping. I'm done with those. And move on to our next thing. This is water reactive. So if I splatter this with water or accidentally get it wet, it's going to react. And I want to kind of protect it a little bit. And then add a nice shine. So I'm using this. I don't think this really will protect it too much. No. It is a glazing medium, so it should have some protectiveness, even if it's like a 2-second thing. Because if I put any water on this and it touches it for even a second, it's going to peel the color. And I like it how it is. If you wanted to, you could do that now, but I do want to kind of keep it how I have it. Now this will react medium, so you want to brush in one direction. Do not go back and forth. If you don't have a glazing medium, you can use like any kind of gel mediums you have. Will work on here. I mean, not gel. Acrylic matte mediums work, and do the same thing. Okay. And I got this on Tuesday morning a while ago. They were clearancing it out, and I like it because if you do multiple coats, you can make things look like leather. But I don't know if you can really see it, but in person there's a slight difference. You see the gloss? There you go. and then you see on the other side, it's just paper. And it does add a nice, cool, weird feel to it. As I said, you don't want to go back and forth, you want to go one direction. Because back and forth will get you light spots. Unless you want light spots and you don't really care. I mean, if I get light spots, yeah. But just saying, if you're copying exactly what I'm doing. So, I love the feel. And I want to kind of add some extra protection, light protection, barely protection, some kind of protection. Now, this is not exactly the same color that I had on my first paper, but it's good enough. If you do have this medium from Tuesday Morning, it's really nice and does give a nice, somewhat glossy finish, but it's not the same. You see this one's a lot darker. But still, it does add a nice touch. If you're going to do a lot of papers, I would definitely want to tell you to make a big batch of your color, because it's really hard to remix the same exact color. And I let this air dry because it just gets kind of tacky when you heat it. So you really want to make sure to let it air dry completely. But you can do really cool things if you have the homemade resist paste to make spray. You can stencil designs in here, and then when you put down your colors, you can go really crazy with this. And all I would do on that one is, if I wanted to, I can ink the edges on it to give it some flare, like this one I ink the edges on. I don't think you really can see it, but you can see it in detail in person. I ink the edges, or you can leave them how they are, and it's up to you. So that's all I wanted to do, is show you in this video how I make some paper, and then I'll make some embellishments and stuff, and make a little book as we progress. So much love, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day and get crafty. Bye.